Pokemon of the Month, Spoink. What's going on? I'm PokeWelder Zach, and today we've got our first ever Pokemon of the Month. You voted, the results are in, so today we're making Spoink out of bike chains. This is being released as a patron-exclusive video, so I want to give a big thank you to all of you who have been supporting me and supporting the channel, especially in the early growth stage. So, as a thank you, I'll be doing a giveaway for this sculpture. All you have to do is say, I want Spoink in the comments below, or something along those lines. So, if you want a free sculpture, leave those comments down, and let's get on to the video.
Alrighty, let's get started by breaking up some chains. Easy peasy. Alright, so to make Spoink, this design is actually pretty simple since it's pretty much just one body with very little additional. I start out by using a 4 for the top and bottom, and then 3 6-link chains in the middle. Some single links for the ears, arms, and then a 4-link for the spring. Alright, so to start out here, again, we're going to set up the all the main parts for the body. So that's going to have the 4-link for the top, the 4-link for the bottom, and then the 3 6-link pieces for the middle. Spoink's a little interesting because it does technically have a rounder bottom, and so I end up trying to sort of offset these to give them that round shape. I think in a future design I might bump one of the 6s up to a 7 and see how that design works. So now we're going to quickly tack, do the good old-fashioned tack and stack. I'm going to, again, get all these secured, then going to clean them up, and then going to stack them so that we can create really most of Spoink. It's just a pretty simple roll. Alright, so now we're going to stack them up. I kind of test this out a few little different ways here, again, trying to make that sort of round body. And so we're going to just do the very top part of it first, doing the 4 on top of the 6, and then sort of lining up the ears. Again, these are the single links that are broken out, and to make little triangles, which will be used for the ears. And I tried to give it enough space so that I could have the pearl on top. It was a little trickier, had to bust the magnet out so it didn't move around as much, but definitely got there. So again, you can see I offset these, and that's just to give Spoink a little bit more of a round shape instead of it being just flat on all the different sides. So we stick that together, and then we add the bottom piece, which is another 4-link, since he does sort of taper off on his bottom part. And that is the main body for Spoink. Definitely a little round boy here. So now we are going to add on his spring. I ended up cutting off part of the top of it just so that it would fit on there better, a little bit more in line. Then we'll take those 2 single links, tack them onto either side. The arms are a little bit longer, but they fit this way. And then we're gonna add a little half link. This is a piece that I just, again, a link that I cut in half. Put that right there on his face for his little nosy, and tack it on each side. Now for the pearl, I use 3 4-links for the main part of it. Again, offsetting them just to give it a little bit more dimension. So you can see that I'm doing that right here. And then for the ends of it, I was originally gonna leave them open, but I figured that doing the half links on either end was gonna kind of give it more of a round shape. So you can see I'm kind of messing around with it there. Wasn't super satisfied with how that was looking, so that's when I go back, take in the the half links there, clean them up a little bit, and then I'm going to add them onto either side of the pearl. So you can see we're tacking it in, and then I sort of just tack it on 4 different sides there, so that it stays on and kind of lines up. Again, cleaning up sharp edges here, to get that pearl the smoothest finish that I can for being made out of bike chains. And then going through and finishing up with the angle grinder to clean up all the other parts of Spoink here. Getting the Dremel tool out to get all the sort of hard to reach spots. Yep, gotta make sure you get around those springs, and then taking the Dremel tool over to the pearl as well, just spots that the angle grinder couldn't really reach. And then because Spoink does have that spring that is not very stable, I did have to create a base for it, and so that's what I'm doing here. I just take an old bike ring and add a middle part to it and tack him onto it so that he can actually stand up. Then we will add the pearl on top of the head. And this is removable, so I don't actually weld that on there. I just sort of leave it sitting up there. And that's the raw chains. Now we're gonna add some paint. This went on in a really good color. It was just like a nice gray. Probably could use a little bit lighter here. Just, you know, mix some black and white paint. It's rocket science. But once it dried, it turned out a little bit darker than I expected. So just future reference for using a little bit more white in that paint mix. Got to make sure to get in between all the different chains, get all the different sides, those ears. Again, just making sure to get in between the chain links as well as coating the tops of them. And then for the pearl, just again, it's paint pearl. So we take that little bit. This took like 8 different coats of paint. They just, for some reason, kept showing that sort of silver underneath it. And so up close, you can't really tell, but it did take multiple layers here. Then of course we add the pink little cheeks onto Spoink. He really doesn't have that much color in him, so this pink does sort of outline there. And that gives us the final painted form for Spoink. Got a reference picture up in the corner, so let me know how I did.
Thanks for sticking around to the end, and again, thank you for your support, especially in the early stages of this channel. It really does mean the world to me. And if you want a Spoink, leave it in the comments below. You can also leave a comment on the post in Patreon to let me know what you thought of the video content or the style for doing Pokemon of the Month. So leave those comments, and soon I'll be releasing a poll for the October Pokemon of the Month. Until then, sign off with a Totodile smile.